On Saturday, presumably Israeli drones, the Israelis have not commented on the operation, struck at Isfahan, either at Iranian nuclear enrichment facilities or missile production. It's not clear what damage was done and what the targets actually were. Here are the takeaways. Number one, these drone attacks are not new. They've been carried out in 21 and 22. They're part of the War of the Shadows, in which, again, presumably the government of Israel has tried using cyber, killing Iranian scientists and engineers to restrain Iran's production of fissile material. Number two, on Sunday, the United States denied responsibility that it was involved or responsible for the attacks. Bill Burns, CIA director, was in Israel over the weekend. It's unclear whether the Israelis notified the U.S. that they were going to strike, but this issue of notification and the U.S. being surprised or not surprised by these attacks have been a source of considerable tension in the past. Number three, there's little doubt that this is an opening campaign, particularly now that Benjamin Netanyahu is prime minister again. It's a legacy issue for him, and he has three priorities other than beating his ongoing trial for corruption, bribery, and breach of trust, and that is Iran, 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 in that order. He looks at the Iranian nuclear program as a potential threat. He's persuaded the Iranians may weaponize at some point, and he's determined to do everything he possibly can to free Israel from the shadow of an Iranian bomb. The other takeaway, I think, is eminently clear, and that is over the last year or so, the circumstances for closer cooperation between the United States and Israel have come to play. With the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, now off the table, much of the tension in the U.S.-Israeli relationship over Iran, the Israelis were adamant against the agreement, has dissipated. Iran's behavior in its brutal crackdown against Iranians in the streets, its facilitation of Iranian drones to Russia to help Vladimir Putin kill the Ukrainians, all of this has hardened attitudes toward Iran and facilitated Israeli-U.S. cooperation. And finally, the reality is there is still no effective counter to an unrestrained and unconstrained Iranian nuclear program. Should the Iranians choose, and I'm not predicting they will in the foreseeable future, to push their enrichment to 90% or kick out the IAEA inspectors, it seems quite reasonable to expect either an Israeli or even perhaps an American military strike, which could clearly spark a regional confrontation, which the United States clearly wants to avoid.